Hey everyone, welcome to my first video of 2023, which will be an update. Update on what? On the project I'm engaging with, which is to pull together the resources and support entrepreneurs to realize the potential of NFTs as a fundraising platform for legitimate, awesome startups looking to change the world by building innovative products. So here's where I am right now. I've done a lot of thinking and bits of research in December. Most of it was internal, as in it was about making up my mind about what I wanted to do. I was clear that I didn't want to be one of those people who wakes up in the morning and thinks of how they can rant about something they hate, like all the crypto haters out there. I want to be constructive with my life to build things. So this year from me, you hopefully won't see much commentary about the current NFT market and all its various issues. If you want some more of that stuff, check out some of my earlier videos. Instead, I decided to roll up my sleeves and start fixing all the problems that make it difficult for legitimate founders to make use of this awesome fundraising mechanism. And boy, there are a lot of them. First, there's the legal ambiguity. That's got to be the first thing to tackle. And I've had multiple conversations about this with various people and done some of my own research. And I'll be chatting to an actual securities lawyer recommended by Zeneca tomorrow morning actually. That should be Friday the 6th. That may not be tomorrow depending on when you're watching this. I'll share as much as I can from this and try to codify it in various ways and help signpost further resources for people who want to learn more about this. Then there's the technical uncertainty. Being a founder is hard work. Building a business from scratch is really hard. Fundraising is a whole extra job. Typically, if you're fundraising and you have two founders, one of them focuses on the product and the other one goes full time on fundraising. Right now, if you want to do fundraising via NFTs, you also have to do a third job, which is to figure out the technology for those NFTs. Maybe you can use Manifold or Haymint or Premint, but there's no clear instructions on how and how to adapt them to your needs, and there are serious shortcomings with both of those technologies. And so that needs to be fixed before this becomes a real option for most founders. Then, of course, there's the marketing uncertainty. How do you even market NFTs? This is really a big unknown. Now, you might think there's a lot to learn from previous projects on this topic, but most of the NFT Playbook emerged during a bubble, and it's basically all about marketing empty projects that are all about the hype. There may be a few pearls of wisdom here and there, but most of it needs to go straight into the garbage. For a start, I think real startups should not be marketing to the NFT space itself, which is a rapidly shrinking pool of sharks trading against each other, but to their ideal users and customers. And often, much like Reddit, they probably shouldn't even be calling whatever they're selling NFTs, because for most people that term is unnecessarily polarizing. So lots of work to do here. And then there's the business design uncertainty. I've talked a lot in the past about constructing a good value link between the NFT and the business to make it a good investment. After a great conversation I had in December, I also need to add making sure that the value link doesn't end up sabotaging the business by killing its early revenues somehow. There's no point in raising that seed funding if it sinks your business. Some sort of platform needs to be built to solve these three uncertainties and many more. I don't know yet whether it's just an informational platform, also known as a website, or on the other end of the scale, something more like Kickstarter, or maybe even something in between and more decentralized. I don't know whether it needs funding itself. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I actually kind of like the idea that it might, because then we can dog food our own product concept by raising seed funding via NFTs through our own platform. I say we because I've gotten in touch with a couple of people I've known for over a decade who are both incredibly capable folks, and they seem interested in joining me on building this. So some kind of team may be beginning to assemble here, which is pretty exciting because I know those two people are really good at stuff which I maybe can do, but which I don't enjoy doing much, and which is really time consuming for me. Like building teams and developing technology. I'd much rather focus on talking to founders, making videos, writing threads, basically doing all the educational stuff. One last thing. I had one conversation with a founder who's building a cool business in Vienna and looking for funding. I won't give any details about it yet, but what I will say is that even though she knew nothing about Web3 when the conversation started, she seemed to get it very quickly, understood how NFTs could provide an alternative means of funding, saw the benefit of it, and so we got quite deep into how she might use NFTs in her business. I obviously don't know whether anything will happen there, but I've offered to help with the nuts and bolts of making it happen, to work out each step together, and so it's possible that her business will be the first one to try this process as we develop it, which is pretty exciting. That's it for me today. I thought about making one of my regular educational videos. I even have a new character to introduce, but that will have to wait because there's too much in flux right now, and so it's difficult or impossible to make useful education videos when so much is still uncertain. So If you're still watching, I'm happy that you're on this journey with me. If you don't know about it yet, check the description for a link to my Discord, where more frequent updates will be posted and where you can ask any questions. Maybe I'll also do a Twitter space if someone requests it. And if you're doing a startup and thinking of NFT fundraising, please do get in touch. I really want to help. GM and good luck.